What's going on, guys? This is Fast Derek here in the Everett 328 production studios for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show here on March 31st, 2020. Yeah, not a whole lot going on in the motocross world in the past week since we were last joined here in the studio. As you can see, I am joined all by myself. Grip it, rip it, Kevin Ott. He is not with us here in the Everett 328 production studios. Last week we were supposed to have Mario Testa come in here and join us in the studio, but you know, we are practicing the social distancing in which we are supposed to be doing right now. So it's just me here in the studio all by myself again this week, and intro music wrapping up, and we're gonna get the background music back rolling as we're working our way here in the show. This is not the social distancing solo spectacular. That was last week. This is just continuing the social distancing, just giving you guys some more news, some more updates here in the Ohio motocross world. This week's show brought to you by the folks at the Ohio MX Pit Bike Riders, the Facebook group. Get yourself a membership of the Ohio MX Pit Bike Riders. They're trying to reach 10,000 members, and I will touch base on that later in the show. And this week's show also brought to you by the folks at A&Y Performance. So thank you very much to those guys for helping us out for the next few weeks, and hopefully for much, much longer. Yeah. Getting things started here for Moto number 11. You know, I usually have Kevin in here bouncing stuff off me, but it's difficult, you know, bouncing stuff off myself. I took a couple of notes as to, you know, what's going on, and as you guys know, it's March 31st. The season opener should have happened last weekend, but motocross locally is still got the big double vertical bars on. We are currently still on pause. So we do not know what is in the future for local Ohio motocross in the Ohio Motocross Association, as well as the Race Ohio organization down in Southwest Ohio. We just don't know what's going on. And at this point in time, I've got some races on my schedule that I'm supposed to be going to that just probably aren't going to happen. You know, they're just not happening in April for sure. I'm just checking some of the comments I'm seeing up here. What's going on, Sean Lowe? He is the pit bike doctor helping us out for the 2020 season. We are back up and running here in the studio. We did have a little bit of technical difficulties before we got running. For some reason, my video was frozen up, so I got to get that situation, addressed, and we're good to go for the show now. But coming up this weekend, I'm supposed to hit the road Friday for Chillytown. That is just a couple of days away. That was supposed to be the qualifier down there in Central Ohio, but as I was last notified, the qualifiers have been postponed through April. And last week we made some speculations. Thank you, Glenn. I will be hopefully getting that announcement very, very soon from Jimmy, and getting that out to you guys. Information on Route 62. Silvis, yeah, Kevin, he's a very necessary member of the MotOHIO show. Doing the best I can all by myself. Trying to take the reins here. But this weekend we were supposed to have a qualifier down there at Chillytown, and last I was notified, the qualifiers have been postponed and or canceled through the end of November. So it puts a big damper on the 2020 Amateur National Championships that we typically have down there at Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, at Loretta Lynn's. So what is in store for the 2020 season as for the Amateur National Motocross Championship? We made some speculations last week in the studio. My personal speculation is, what if MX Sports was to wash Loretta's altogether and fabricate their own championship and have it later in the season? But from what I'm hearing from the government, we're just not, from the top down, we're just not sounding like we're going to have any racing, through May, through June, potentially into July. And that's just a long time. And that really puts a time crunch on when you typically have the races at Loretta's. So I just don't see it happening for this year for the 2020. I'll get on that in just a couple of minutes, Sean. Your comment there with the golf courses, there is something that is supposed to be going on, and it's a 3-round series. They should be able to get all 3 rounds of it in, and I will be touching on that later in the show. But yeah, for the Amateur National Championship, I made a speculation as what if MX Sports was to wash the whole thing all together and, you know, readdress the qualifiers and still have qualifiers, still have regionals, but, you know, readdress the schedule and relocate the championship race to, let's say, Ponca City, because Ponca has been known to hold huge races in the past. I mean, when I was growing up in the early 2000s, if you weren't going to Loretta's, you were trying to go to Ponca. So Ponca is, you know, next in. Ashley, I would be really interested in that. I think I might have a way for it to happen. So, yeah, Kevin, if you want to call in, I think we can make that happen. So I got the phone plugged in here. So Kevin, if you want to call in, I think we can make the audio happen. So, yeah. The lines are open here in the Everett 328 Production Studios. I just have opened that can of worms. So, yeah. Hopefully Kevin will be joining on in just a few minutes. Let's see who else is commenting in for Moto number 11 at this point in time. Yeah, Meister is screwed is what we are for the 2020 Amateur National Motocross. Not only that, kind of for local motocross as well. You know, Malvern was supposed to have their season opener. That's canceled. And we're supposed to maintain this social distancing. We're not even supposed to go to the racetracks and pit next to each other. We're not even supposed to hang out with our friends because this is known to be potentially airborne. And that, you know, that's not cool, because if you cough and you're out there on the track and that's then airborne, you could potentially ride through that and, you know, catastrophes could happen. So I'm not advocating it, but I'm still advocating having fun on two wheels. So if you have a big yard, that sounds like fun. So we did make, if you were joining us for Moto number 9 of the show, I made some bad wording on my part. So I'm not going to re-say what the wording is. If you guys want to know, just join back in for Moto number 9 of the show. We'll get on some of your comments in a second, Meister. You know, I may have had some bad wording back there in Moto number 9. I corrected that in Moto 10. I think the best thing to do from this point moving forward is just to listen to what we are advised and just still have fun on two wheels to the best of your abilities. If you have a big yard, you can have ruts in it. Nobody's going to judge you because everybody knows what you're doing. Everybody knows you're having fun. You're making the best of a bad situation. So if you have a turn track set up in your yard, that's actually going to be kind of cool at this point in time, because you are still doing what you have to do to get that adrenaline rush to have fun on two wheels. And this is the perfect opportunity to get your race bike ready. If you have a small yard, you have a pit bike, this is great. This is great for pit bikes. It's terrible for big bikes if you have a small yard, because then you can't really do anything but pull some hole shots. So, clicking the pen. Yeah, let's rewind and get back to the national championships. I made the speculation, what about Ponca? What if you still have qualifiers? Because you can't negate the qualifiers that you've already had. You've already had qualifiers in Southwest United States. You've already had qualifiers out west. You've already had qualifiers across the country in various locations. So you cannot negate these riders' accomplishments to this point. You have to take that into accommodation, and you can't refund it. You can't refund somebody's accomplishments to this point. You have to take that into consideration for the whole. And that was my theory behind utilizing those results from the qualifiers that we've had already. Have more qualifiers for the areas that we have not yet had qualifiers, utilize regionals in the same places, and then have an improvised 2020 National Championship race. So let me get a second and rewind some of these read some of these comments. Meister driving to Idaho, riding with the Swopes in the mountains to social distance. As long as you stay 6 feet or above away from Talon and the rest of the crew from the Swopes, I guess you're good, Jared. And maintain 6 feet lateral distance off the trails as well, so that way you're not in coughing range. Dustin Silva says, let's go racing and make our own classes, half slow guys, half fast guys, be plenty of social distance between. Fair enough. Never mind for private rides for OMPR. That's an idea, Sean. That's pretty cool. Scott Hanud, the Hurricanes' dad, said if this eases up by the end of April, we'll have multiple area qualifiers in each region at the same time. that's an idea. If it's June, they'll have 16 or more regional qualifiers. You have to qualify for the main event at the regional. That I made the speculation last race, or last moto, yeah, last race. Some of these facilities cannot hold 2,000, 3,000 riders that could potentially be showing up for some of these races. So that was my hesitation on agreeing with such an improvised, condensed format. Some of these facilities can barely maintain 400 or 500 riders, let alone 3 or 4 times that number of riders. Just checking out some stuff. If the qualifiers that have already happened, they won't have to race a qualifier at the regional, later go straight to the main. That's an idea, but then you still have that number of people still showing up for these regionals. You still have that quantity of number or quantity of riders showing up that the facilities just may be able to not maintain. And you have to be able to get the people in the facility to have the races. There's no doubt in my mind that you can get the racing done in a weekend, especially if you have the personnel and all the stars are aligning for track prep and everything, and you're racing from daylight to dark. There's Kevin. Hey, let's see if I can't get Kevin in the studio here. Answer. Trying to figure it out, Kevin. I just push the button. Hey, there he is. There's Grip It, Rip It joining us in the studio. Let's see if I can't get you cranked up a little bit. You are on channels 9 and 10, Kevin. Can you hear me? Except for I cannot hear you. All right, Kevin. Working on some stuff. Let me turn up some... Hey, can I hear you now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I can hear you, buddy. I don't know if the rest of the crew can hear you, but we are... Kevin Ott.
Hey, I just want to touch base and say hello, Derek. You're doing a great job, my man. Don't knock it till you try it, right? You're doing an excellent job, fella.
All right, thanks, buddy. Let me grab another microphone here, and I will I'll get this working right somehow or another. Just give me a hot second, guys.
You're okay. You're okay. I'll just go back to watching if you have to. If you need me to.
No, man.
Right.
No, man. I just need to figure out which microphone this one is.
I can watch him on here.
There you are. All right.
Hey.
Now we got some audio. We got Kevin Ott joining us in the studio over the microphone. So Grip It, Rip It is now here. We can hear you. I can hear you. So if I can hear you, that means it.
It's fine, guys. Social distancing.
Here
we go.
We're doing the best we can, buddy.
Well, it's like almost I just stand outside next time and I'll just talk through the window.
We'll do what we got to do to get the show done.
Studio spot.
But
if you were still in the old studio spot, we would have. Yeah.
I'm just rewinding and checking out some of these comments, and you know, Scott Hanoud mentioned, what do you think if he says if it eases up by the end of April, multiple area qualifiers in the same region at the same time? What's your opinion of that, Kevin?
See, I would have to say that they are going to have to scratch. They're going to have to scratch the guys that's already qualified because, well, what's that do to the guys that haven't got to qualify yet? You know, so you're going to have to be on a level playing field of some sort. This is Loretta Lynn's we're talking about.
And right, but my speculation was...
District 12 AMA race. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to get something straightened out because there's people that invest their whole lives in this.
And I definitely...
So I don't know how they're going to contend and speak for straight. You know?
And... Oh.
Derek. Oh, nope. We're connecting the video.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
Yeah, it's okay, but that's where I'm at with it. I think like a 3-moto format or something, but I don't know how they're going to get down to enough riders to get them all in the gate at one time.
But here's my thought behind that. I think you can get the racing done in the weekend, but can you accommodate, because typically for a qualifier, you may have anywhere from 400 to 800 riders show up at a track on a weekend. That's if everything's going good.
Right.
If you have multiple qualifiers in a region and just run it region by region at the same time, that way it gives people that want to run multiple regions the chance to qualify in multiple regions. If you have multiple qualifiers in a given region, you are inviting more people to come to these facilities that may be able to not maintain it. So that's that's my thought. Yeah, Kevin, if you want to call in and put us on speakerphone, I can put you on speakerphone. That is going to be just as good, if not a little bit better than the video call, because I'm working out the video call stuff. We're working on that, buddy. So
let's do that, because then it would be so glitchy.
Yeah, let's get the glitchy stuff out of here.
It won't be so glitchy. I'll just give you a call here in a second.
All right, man. I'm gonna catch up with some of these comments that's going on, and all right, just checking some stuff out here. Qualifiers have already happened. Won't have to race a regional, they go straight to the main. I'm not saying that that won't happen, but it just, I don't know if we can accommodate that many people in a racetrack at a given time. All right, there's Kevin joining us back in here. Let's see if I can't get him on speakerphone. There he is. All right, what's going on?
Hello, guys. Hey, welcome back to Social Distancing at its finest. Hey.
You sound much, much better, buddy. So,
that's right. All right. No, this is what I was getting at with the regional being, and you're not going to have any qualifiers. I would have to say, between the C classes and your 50 classes, it's going to take up like the whole day just to get through that.
Right.
Open C is going to have 900 people. You're going to have every 50 class parent there that thinks that they got the shot, and they have to accommodate everyone that pays that entry money. So I don't know how they're going to handle all that. How a track's going to handle that in a whole weekend. And
I agree with that. I was thinking that MX Sports, the brains behind the Amateur National Championship Series, they're taking this whole thing into consideration, and they're playing this day by day, and things are changing day by day. And they have, in my opinion, they have to take into consideration what has already, you cannot negate people's results. Draw spoons at the ranch, make it happen. It would, true diversity, it would bring a hell of a lot more people to the ranch if that was the case, Meister. I've never been to Loretta's. That would give me the chance to go down there and race.
It would too. It would definitely open up the chance for everyone to get their shot at a Loretta Lynn's lap or two.
You know, my thought process, Kevin, I don't know if you had a chance to check out Moto number 10 of the show. I was saying,
yeah.
what if you were to utilize the qualifiers we've already had, if MX Sports were to take that into consideration and then have more qualifiers after this whole pandemic was to come to an end. Let's say it was July or August. They have qualifiers in July or August to accommodate the qualifier, or to accommodate the areas that have not raced yet, and then still have the regionals in August, September, and then have the Amateur National Championship in, let's say, October or November. What's your opinion on that?
See, I think so, but you're going to have to watch, because you're going to be running into other events. Okay, we have other things planned, so now we're constantly playing catch up, and I don't know that something's going to have to give. And I don't know what it will be. Mini-O's?
What's more important?
You know,
is it Mini-O's?
No,
is it the 2020 Amateur National Championship?
Yes, sir. No, I'm with you. Yeah, it's going to come down to the pecking order then.
And I think that's the whole thing, and that's where I'm going to be getting to here in just a second with the Nationals and the Supercross. As we have heard, they are planning on running more Supercross races. But let's put a pin in that.
Jimmy Walton just put a comment up. Awesome. He said, I just got a call from the health department yesterday. They're allowing me to open up outdoors, so I'll be opening up hopefully Thursday and the weekend. I'll be making an announcement later.
That is a big announcement, Jimmy. So make sure you're paying attention to the awesome. Route 60. Let me put that pen away. I'm still clicking that thing.
I like it though.
Jimmy, that's awesome.
I want to be at the studio.
I know, man. I wish you were here. Only thing I can say is this is going to be primarily a location by location basis, and Jimmy, being in a more rural area, can get away with probably things like that you probably could not get away with in more of an urban scenario. So that is great news, Jimmy. Be paying attention to the Route 62 MX Facebook page for some more information on that. But let's go back on the Amateur National Motocross stuff, Kevin. We already had the season opener this past weekend. That has come to a close as a cancel. We don't know where the season is moving forward at this point in time. We don't know if we're going to be having races, even though that we may we may be having races, we may not be having races, but we have to be following the rules. And you and I right now, we're following the rules. We are practicing the social distancing. You're staying at home, joining us on the show in an improvised way. I'm doing the best I can, and hopefully you guys can hear him. So.
Oh, they're doing a great job. Yeah, you're doing phenomenal, Derek. And this is how we're gonna have to play ball for a little while to try to get this thing to go away and get back to normal.
And I have heard some rumors as to what may be coming down the pike in our area. We hope it doesn't come to that, but if it does, we have to follow the rules. The more we follow the rules, the quicker the whole thing is going to go away.
I mean, and that's where I'm at too. And I feel like school is over for this year, so that's gonna make Loretta's like kind of screech to the halt too, seeing how it's a youth amateur national championship. So I'm saying once, but it's gonna maybe, like Scott Hanout says in one of our posts too, maybe it goes back in a little quicker for the next year, school year, and they kind of get a couple more weeks maybe out of this next coming school year. So without school being in, I don't know how Loretta's are going to be able to really go forth and allow kids to race dirt bikes and say that that's fine in such a big environment, but not be inside the school. So I don't know how the health department will tackle that.
Right. Thanks, Meister, for commenting in and allowing me to make some adjustments. Let me know where I got to be to make it sound right. I don't know what's in store for motocross for us, man. It just.
I think it's going to be a lot of practicing this year.
It's going to be a lot of practicing.
I feel like it's just a lot of seat time, and then everyone comes out next season really swinging. I get it. It's hard on the vendors and the this and the that, but I don't know what else to do. I'm going riding if I can go ride anywhere, anytime. At this point, we went pit bike riding the other day. So I'm getting any kind of seat time I can possibly get at this point.
You're right.
Just as soon as I can. So because I'm itching to do so. It's greening up. It's that time of season. The birds are chirping. It's time to go riding. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with everyone else. Like, if it opens, I'm going.
Yeah, I got to get some seat time. I've got my clean filters. I got premix. I've got race gas. I'm ready to go ride. I'm ready to ride pit bikes. I'm ready to ride big bikes. It doesn't matter. So as soon as we get the word that we can go out there and twist it, we're going to go twist it.
I look forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Kevin, thank you for joining us for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show. Almost said Moto number 10 there.
Okay.
It feels like 10 because I haven't seen you in a while, buddy, here in the studio. But let us fast forward to some of the professional stuff. But in the meantime, this week's show brought to you by the folks at the Ohio MX Pit Bike Riders, as well as ANY Performance helping us out for the foreseeable future. Glad to be, hooking up with those guys this year. Great to be a part of a couple of small businesses trying to grow. But moving on to the national stuff, Kevin, we have heard officially that the Supercross series is not over. It is officially not over.
I mean, that is the cool memes that you see across the board, and as in a few, bigger places has said that. So that's kind of interesting. Will they run the rounds that they haven't gotten? Like most said, for the injured riders, kind of giving them a chance to kind of get rebounded and get ready, maybe to take another run at it.
You're right. And here's something for you, Kevin. I know this is before your time. This is way before my time. But McQueen, in the last show, he commented in and said this is going to, play havoc for the OEMs because typically the OEM contracts end after the nationals are done. So with the Supercrosses now scheduled to be taking place after the nationals are done, the OEMs are going to have to readjust some contracts. And we have officially heard that Salt Lake City and Las Vegas, the final two rounds would be Las Vegas and then Salt Lake City. Those two rounds are officially off the board. So they're going to try to run the remaining rounds. I think it's 11 through 17. Las Vegas was rounds 18 and round 19 was Salt Lake City. So those ones are off the board. They are planning on doing the remaining rounds of the 2020 Supercross series after the Nationals. Hangtown at this point in time is canceled or postponed. We have not heard as if they're going to try to reschedule Hangtown, the season opener for the AMA National Series. But, Kevin, we heard Travis in the last show say that this is going to play havoc for the OEMs as the Supercross series after the Nationals. That doesn't really, play into their contract. Well, let's rewind back to before your and your time and my time to 1977 through 85. I did a little bit of research. The final rounds of the Supercross series back then were ran in either July, August, October, or November. So the series ending Supercross rounds then were either in the National Series or after the National Series. So having it come back this time, having the Supercrosses after the Nationals, it's not going to be something new. It's just going to be reminisce of the past. Your take?
I say it plays a good havoc on fitness, because just back in the day, it just seemed like it did. The tracks might not have been such a demanding track. Like the guys today are riding some serious all-terrain tracks.
You're right.
They have every obstacle thrown at them, it seems like, in the Supercross category, to where you can let Ricky Carmichael behind the blade of a dozer and he starts making crazy stuff like you've seen in a video game, and these guys are going out and hitting it. So I feel like, coming right from the national scene and then jumping into Supercrosses, I feel OEM standpoints is you still will be under contract for them series of races. And after that, it'll pop up at the end of that.
I agree. They're going to take it. I agree that the manufacturer are going to take this whole thing into consideration and accommodate their remaining Supercross races, regardless of the time frame in which they are held. So
right. So I say that they still stay under that protocol of you need to finish out your ride with us, but then we'll you'll see people making quick changes right after that.
Right. And we sometimes see people make the brand switch, the team switch before the Monster Energy Cup, which is usually held in October, I believe. So there potentially could be some quick bike changes, some quick testing before that race, if it is held or if it is not moved in its time frame, because I would be willing to bet that is the reason why the Las Vegas Supercross round was canceled, because the Monster Energy Cup will be coming up very, very soon later the same year, and they don't want to flood Las Vegas with too many of the same events in the same time frame.
And then I'm almost on the fence on the Monster Energy Cup, and some of those bigger, like, money-making shootout races, they might not hit this year. I mean, I understand that brings a lot of revenue to the teams and Monster Energy and everyone that puts on that stuff at Supercross, but I don't know that you're going to have enough time to rebound for people to actually come back. They'll be like, I was just at a race there 2 weeks ago, and now they're having another one.
Exactly.
I don't see you pulling spectators back to back to the same thing, to spend the same hundreds, even thousands of dollars to get to this place.
Right, and that's exactly.
You're gonna have to pick, like you said, you're gonna have to pick and choose. You know what I mean? What's more important?
Exactly.
And it's definitely these professionals finishing this series and getting what points, and let bygones be bygones. Who's the winner? Because that's what those guys want. At the end of the day, they want the number one plate. They don't really do it for the money. They want to beat their fellow competitor and this guy and that guy. They're all ganging up and trying to do different techniques right now, I'm sure. So when this thing comes back alive, they're at their A game.
Right.
There's no possible way. Everyone always wants to be the best, and it's kind of up in the air this year, because the points are so close.
Yeah, there's only 3 points.
Hungry, man.
3 points separates them.
Right. Ken's 3 points down from, another guy that's really wanting a title that's eluded him for so many years. So I'm just saying, I think they're really going to go hard at it, and things are really going to kick into pace when the time comes. I
definitely agree, man. Again, you're being joined in the studio, in the Everett 328 production studio, by the voice of Kevin Ott, Grip It, Rip It, who is usually sitting here in the shotgun seat, the number one spot in the hot seat. He is, practicing the social distancing here in the studio. Not here in the studio, I should say. I am Derek Everett here in the studio for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show. We have already touched on, some speculations as for the Amateur Nationals. We've, made some speculations for the local stuff, which is just, it's not going to happen until we get the green light that we're going to be able to ride outside again. And it's going to be on a location-by-location basis. It's just not going to open up green light and everything is going to come back. It's going to be a location-by-location basis, one thing at a time. So national stuff, as far as amateurs, is up in the air one day at a time. We have already heard some stuff for the the professional athletes for the Supercross and their nationals, but it's all being played out day by day. And from what I'm hearing, it's not looking good in the very short foreseeable future. So get your stuff while you can to get some seat time in before we can't. That's all I want to get at. Head down to Action Extreme Sports in New Philly, get your KTM parts or anything that you guys need to get back on the track or trail. We have a lot of stuff in stock.
Maybe even get extra, times two.
Double
at the time if you can, I kind of already put a few things, in the shed for whenever, the beast comes back from A and Y. I'm getting ganged up and ready to go. It's going to be
You can ride around the yard, Kevin. We've got you something to ride around the yard because currently the Steed is down at A&Y Performance getting a preseason prep. Sierra Yoho does her preseason prep, only $300. It includes a full teardown to the frame, all pivot points cleaned and greased. She changes your oil filter and does an oil change, cleans your air filter, does a full bike inspection, front to back, top to bottom, and installs all the parts that may be needed to get your bike back up to tip-top race shape. Only $300. That is something that you don't want to do.
Cheap.
That's super cheap, man. Nobody wants to tear their bike down, and for only $300, that is just a couple of days' work. To get the cost and send it down to her.
I don't mind tearing my bike down, but I'm always nervous to put my own bike back together. I always feel like I missed something or whatnot. So therefore, I got trust in the people that she was makeup to mud. If you don't know who Sierra is, get informed that girl knows what she's doing with the motorcycles.
Words of my dad: if you have extra parts, you did something right. If you took something apart and you put it back together and you have extra parts, you did something right. So
oh god, right? See, I can't do that. Oh no.
I'm not. I can do some stuff, but I'm not your a mechanic. So if you ever need a preseason prep, send it down to Sierra. Only $300 to get your bike diagnosed and guaranteed to be race ready for the season. So huge thanks to her for being a part of the 2020 MotOHIO show, and also huge shout out to Sean Lowe, the pit bike doctor, and the Ohio MX pit bike riders hooking up with us for the 2020 season. As you can see here in the background, we have the Pitster Pro FSE 110R that you, Kevin, and I will be ripping on, and we may or may not have some more stuff coming in the future from the Ohio MX pit bike riders representing that brand. They have a couple of things going on currently. The OMPR does go onto their Facebook page. They are trying to get 10,000 members by July 4th. By the 4th of July, they're trying to get 10,000 members. So become a member and share the page with everybody. All you have to be is an active member of the motocross community and want to be a member of the OMPR, and they're going to give away a brand new pit bike if they can get 10,000 members by July 4th. So you can, I don't know what the pit bike is. It may be one of these FSE 110Rs, which Kevin and I can both vouch.
That'd be awesome.
These things are legit. These things are awesome. It may be a Piranha machine. It may be an Apollo. We do not know which pit bike that's going to be at this point in time, but they are planning on giving away a brand new bike July 4th if they can reach that 10,000 member mark. Also, the OMPR has hooked up with BD Powder Coating. They are giving away a frame powder coating job. All you have to do is post "done" with a pic of your bike in the comment section of that post on the OMPR page, and make sure that you share that page. Share that post. You must share the BD Powder Coating frame job post. You must share that to your personal page and comment "done" with a pic of your ride to be eligible for that frame powder coating job. I'm not sure exactly when that giveaway ends. I was going to hit on that earlier in the show, and hopefully Sean was going to let me know when that officially ends, because I know that was going on for about a week now, and usually their giveaways last about 2 weeks, so not exactly sure when that powder coating giveaway is set to close, so make sure you guys pay attention to the OMPR Facebook page. But they are also giving away some Dr. Bucks, some Pit Bike Dr. Bucks giveaway. All you have to do is go to that post on the OMPR page and type in "I'm done" in the comment section, and while you're there, go ahead and share that post, because the more shares, the more comments they can get, the more money they're going to be giving away. And at this point in time, they are giving away at least $25 in free Pit Bike Doctor merchandise. So that is awesome. So, have you done that, Kevin?
Looking forward to all that stuff kicking off, and hopefully they get to that 10,000 member mark. I would like to see the young man that would catch that motorcycle.
Yeah, because
who doesn't want a free bike?
Next Saturday. Thank you, Sean. I knew that you'd be, watching in Moto number 11. So the BT powder coating frame job ends next Saturday. Also, the I'm in Dr. Bucks giveaway ends on April 4th. So that is this coming Saturday. So make sure you guys enter each of those giveaways. It's very easy to do. Just go on there, comment, and share the posts. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
I mean, it's just as simple as any of your other, your giveaways. It's a like, share, and usually tag someone or something like that. So it's just jump on there, guys. Get your stuff done and grab a motorcycle. Like I said, that's a great deal.
Hey, you just seen it right there. Sean Lowe just unveiled the
bike. It's a Pitster 110 giveaway, guys.
It's one of these.
One of these just the other day.
It is one of these,
and I had a blast.
It is a phenomenal bike. It's a Chinese 110, but do not take that as anything. This is a professional race bike. This thing is awesome. The suspension's awesome. It's got an aluminum frame, 110cc engine, 4-speed transmission. It is top shape machine.
I can tell you what, Derek, what me and you didn't read about in the book was I can do third-gear wheelies down the road on that thing, no problem. So it is a sweet beast.
It's a very powerful 110 machine.
It is, and it seems like it's set up in like a little bit like you said, maybe the L or something.
Yeah.
It seems like a little bigger motorcycle.
It's a pretty good size setup race bike. I'm currently in the process of doing a full-on race prep. I've already taken it all the way down to the frame, greased all the pivot points, reassembled it, and this next project on my list is to disassemble the forks and change the fork fluid to some quality Maxima stuff, because I do know that will improve the performance of these stock forks tremendously without doing any modifications to them. So just as long as you have quality components in your machines, it's going to make everything last a lot longer. That's all I can say.
Well, no, absolutely, and most guys are always putting the 65 front end on those motorcycles, and I don't feel like we need that on that Pitster Pro 110.
It's good to go.
I think it's good to go.
It's good to go. Just stay tuned.
I did an endo. I remember I come to the stop sign on the front wheel.
Shh.
It doesn't need anything else. I don't know what else you want me to do. I climbed everything. I went on every trail.
It is set up and ready to go.
It was fun. Yeah, it's a very solid machine, and thanks to the Ohio MX Pit Bike guys and Sean Lowe and everyone that was behind that, man, that was just a solid deal, and really hats off for everything they're doing in the game right now.
We are going to be representing pit bikes in a solid way this year, and the way that things are going, we're going to have turn tracks in our yard. I'm going to be donating a bike to Kevin to ride to tear up Ashley's yard. Yep.
Yeah, that happens.
It's going to happen.
I already got it tracked out in my head. I already got it around the shed, through the past the campfire, around down the side of the house. We're in there, buddy.
Go online and check out Ken Roxon's staying at home having fun.
50 race is the phenomenal race.
Oh, shout out Jason Wygant and Ken Roxon for putting that together. That is absolutely epic. You and I can do that, Kevin.
We could definitely do something like that, and stay tuned. Ohio Moto, it's happening.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Because you almost thought it was just a voiceover of Wygant at first, and then no, he's
it's
actually
Wygant.
talking about that.
Yeah,
right?
He's talking about that race that Ken Roxon is doing in his yard, ripping
is.
around a little Z50. We're going to be tearing up and putting some ruts in some yards very, very soon, because I already told my wife that that's happening, and she's like, it is what it is at this point in time, because you kind of have to accept it.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like you got to put your swords away and let the ruts begin.
Yeah, the single was the best. It was just a hop from the grass onto the patio. That was great.
It's just onto the sidewalk. I'm like, oh, he scrubbed the big single. He singled the single. I'm like, no, he didn't say that.
Awesome,
No,
awesome,
it was,
awesome.
It was an awesome little thing. Everyone's trying to do their own little spin on things to kind of get through this time, and that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yep.
With practicing the social distancing, keeping me over here, you over there, and just trying to set a good example for all these people out here.
Yep. Maintain your distance between you and your friends. Even though you want to see them, you know you got to do the right thing. So, have some fun in your yards. Do the best you can to enjoy two wheels. We've touched on what we may think is going on in the future for motocross locally and nationally. Made some speculations. We just don't know. That's what it all boils down to. Is we're gonna have to play it out day by day by day until we're back racing again. So
yeah, and I see some races this season, and I definitely see some guys coming out swinging at those races. So all of your fitness that you can be doing off your motorcycle right now, your push-ups, your pull-ups, your sit-ups.
Yep.
Little riders out there, trust me that all comes into factor when you're on that last lap and you need to dig deep. So be sure and be catching that time. You can be homeschooling and you can be doing a little bit of home therapy, because I do therapy with my boy every day. Cameron gets the attention that he needs still, even though he's not allowed to be at these places under roof. So
thank you.
It's easily done, guys. It just takes a little bit of effort, and don't be lazy. Motocross, Ken Rocks and Eli Tomic are not lazy. So you're going to have to get out there and just do it on your own now. It seems how the gyms and stuff aren't open.
And thank you, Ashley Harris. She just corrected us, or corrected me. Monster Energy Cup is not in Vegas this year. It's in Carson, California. I'm not privy to which arena that is going to be. So new venue for that race. Hopefully Red Bull Straight Rhythm's still going on, because that's a great event to go to as well.
Well, see, like I replied to Mr. Keesner's post as well. He had posted on the thing that he might be there with KTM this year, and man, that would be awesome for him.
That would be great.
Do that.
One thing I did want to touch on, I made a pin of it that I was going to hit on later in the show. Sean Lowe posted up here earlier, let's go tear up some golf courses. Well, that may actually just happen. The Eastern Racing Off-Road Championship, the E-Rock, it's typically more of a hair scramble series, but they do put on a Moto X Country, more of a GP style motocross, and motocross components connected the dots between for just a couple of trail sections. And they are planning on having 3 races, one at Malvern, one at Crow Canyon down in Yorksville, and the third one is set to be at Green Valley Golf Course, just outside of New Philadelphia, Ohio. Finally get the chance to do what everybody has always wanted to do, tear up a golf course. Who has not wanted to ride a dirt bike on a golf course and just launch down a fairway and use a tee box as a hip jump and just do all that kind of stuff, and use the golf cart course track to ride a berm up to the next section of the golf course? So that would be so much fun. Sean, I've got some dates on it, and I'll have it in the next show. So hopefully the E-Rock guys can make sure they can squeeze at least that series into the schedule this year. So anything going on, Kevin, that you want to touch on?
No, just that try to I don't know if you can get everything in one trip. I don't know. I'm not one to say what's right and what's wrong, but I just want things to go back as quick as possible, and it's never a good thing to try to fight, like the government and stuff. So I'm just trying to do what I can, and I think with us doing this, we did go riding the other day, but we were more than 6 feet. We were up there. I was way back here. Like, I couldn't even hit you with a rock. So it's
right.
Like, do things maybe like that, but try to maybe just limit up the smaller just store trips. But
yep.
Other than that, no, man, I'm just kind of going crazy with everyone else, guys. I want to race the same as everyone.
Matt, to answer your question, is Green Valley Golf Course. It is a former golf course that shut down, I'm going to say 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, and this is about the only opportunity that we're going to have before that property is developed into multi-million-dollar homes. So I do know that there's quite a few homes, so the worst or the last thing that they're going to want to hear is dirt bikes. So make sure that we make them hear dirt bikes. Green Valley Golf Course, E-Rock. Hopefully they're able to have their Moto X Country Series races later this year. So that's really all that I have for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show.
Same, buddy, same.
To boil it down, motocross right now just sucks. Jimmy, thank you for doing everything that you have done. Connecting,
get that facility opened up down there,
right?
Man, that's a game changer.
Making the phone calls that you had to make to get that done. So you're supposed to get outdoors, keep your 6-foot distance. So maintain your fun while you are out and about. Hopefully we can continue to have fun outside, and hopefully things will not get locked down. We have seen other countries across the world shut down entirely with forcible lockdowns, and we do not want to have to go to that. So hopefully everybody is just, maintaining and following the protocols in which we have been, told. So go outside, have fun, but do it safely. Use your proper PPE. Make sure you guys are washing hands. After you guys contact anybody, first thing you guys should do, wash your hands. If you guys work retail and deal with money, wear gloves, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Hand sanitizer. Thank you, Kevin. That's how you greet everybody.
How I greeted people. I'm still doing that.
Quick hand sanitizer, rub it in.
I just walk up and give everyone hand sanitizer, and we all just rub it in and say hello.
Yes, sir.
That's how it is. Everybody backs up a little bit. You do your little conversation and go on with your day.
So, thank you very, very much, Kevin, for joining in for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show. We're probably going to be doing this next week, and hopefully I can figure out some more things. Scott Hanud, I did try to practice this at some point in time. Actually, come to think of it, if I turn speakerphone off and turn Kevin back up, can I hear you, buddy? Can you hear me, Kevin? All right, buddy, I can hear you. You can hear me. Can you? All right, buddy. That sounds even better. So I have now got you over the speaker, and you can probably hear me. So that is awesome. So we'll do some more practicing. Fist bump, Sean Lowe, right on. We'll be doing some practicing on this, social distancing over the MotOHIO show for the next show. And we'll get back to you guys for the Dirty Dozen, Moto number 12 of the MotOHIO show next week. Opening things up in April. So, Yep. Build that track in your yard, turn some ruts, go down and see Jimmy, and sign and use gloves while you use that pen and sanitizer, and just make sure you guys are doing everything that you have to do to use all your proper PPE while you guys are out and about. So, again, that's really all I have got for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show. Oh, sorry, Scott Hanud, you can't hear him. Let me turn it back up and put you guys... All right, Kevin. So I guess they couldn't.
Moto number 11.
I'm sorry, Scott.
It's okay, man. That's. We had a good show tonight. I think we touched on a few good bases, and hey, hats off, and we'll roll till the Dirty Dozen.
So, thanks, guys. I know you couldn't hear Kevin there. We really didn't say a whole lot except for, we just really didn't say a whole lot except for we're just wrapping up with Moto number 11. And join us next week. I'm going to be working on some stuff to get the official over-the-phone system, working operational properly. So I'll figure that out so I'm not looking so foolish here holding my phone up to a microphone. Because improvise to get it done. That's all we had to do today.
It does look pretty. It looks pretty cool. I'm in the building right there because you got me held by hand.
Except for you're supposed to be over here though, buddy.
I know.
You're on the wrong side.
I'm on the wrong side, but it's okay. I'm still there.
That's all right. Join us next week for Moto number 12 of the MotOHIO show. Once again, I am Fast Derek, joining you here in the Everett 328 Production Studios. Thanks again to the Ohio MX Pit Bike Riders and AOI Performance for helping us out for the foreseeable future, and hopefully for the remainder of the 2020 season. The folks at AOI Performance, we're going to be on board with the Ohio MX Pit Bike Riders for the rest of the 2020 season. Make sure you give Sierra a shout and get your preseason prep done on your machine. Only $300 for a full
Moto
teardown.
13.
Yep.
Moto 13. Sean Lowe says he'll do another giveaway on the show.
Awesome.
That's what's up, man. Good job, Sean. I appreciate you with the sport. Ashley, Doug Boy, everyone, guys, thank you so much for commenting in. Scott Hanud. It really makes the show go, guys. I appreciate that.
And if you guys are all commented in, if you wouldn't mind doing me the favor, and after the show ends, go ahead and share this onto your personal page. That way you're spreading the word of the MotOHIO show. Again, I have not personally invested any money in marketing of the show other than it growing organically between the motocross community. So what you guys can do, I thank you guys so very much. So make sure you guys give the show a subscribe on YouTube whenever I have it posted there. Hopefully I'll have that posted there tomorrow. Join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio. The show's everywhere, man. The show is everywhere just for you guys to listen to and enjoy, to spread the word of Ohio motocross. The MotOHIO show, we strive to be your source for Ohio motocross news. So, any last words, Kev? One more time?
No, yeah, we'll see everyone next week.
Yeah. Wrapping things up. Thanks, Kevin. I'm going to hang up the phone and I'll give you a buzz a little bit later, Kevin. Thanks again for joining us. And, yeah, this is Fast Derek here for Moto number 11 of the MotOHIO show. Join us next week for Moto number 12. That's all I've got, guys. Thanks again for joining us.